Welcome along then. We're in Panorama Studio 3.6 Pro today, and we're going to stitch another pano together. So here are my images that I took on the day. So my lens coverage is a bit small, so I have to do it with 8 panos. Some of you can do it with 4, some of you can do it with 2. But anyway, my setup is a DSLR camera with a fisheye, but it's not a complete fisheye, but never mind. These are the things we have to work with. So I've got my 8 images to look at first of all, and I like to get them so that I can see left to right. So in other words, what follows on in sequence, and that just tells me I have got enough images to complete a single 360 pano. So, and all of them are different, which is good. So all that in mind, I'll now go to the parameter and check my settings. So as you can see, focal length unknown, doesn't really matter. Digital camera, it's already picked that up from the metadata that comes through. Yours will be different for your camera. Now we need to say circular fisheye, and we do that because it will take everything information wise for the stitching in. I'll leave vignetting in as well, just for a nice bit of correction. It helps with the alignment. So here we go. We're going to do a quick alignment. As you can see, with the grid on, it's giving you an idea of how close the alignment is. Now at this stage, it's never going to be perfect, so don't stress. Just make sure it's kind of in the ballpark. So as long as you can see that the images are following one after the other, and that they are closest to each other and they relate to each other, and you'll be fine. And we can then carry on. I think that's good enough. Like I say, it was a very thick, very quick thumbnail. Now we need to render it. So the settings for rendering are 360 by 180. That's everyone's target goal, but the depth of field on these images is giving us 360 by 1694. Now, what I have found is it's still better to stretch out the image to 360 by 180. So as you can see, I'm now pulling down this red line till I get 180. And what that does is it makes it calculate the exact amount of an image of a 360 by 180 without it trying to do any interpolation or any stitching or anything like that. Mathematically, it will be correct. All this will be corrected, all these images will be corrected by choosing this option. You're just going to have to trust me, and I'll show you anyway. But these are the things that you find out with using these kind of programs. In this one, this is what I find that helps this program do a great job. Okay, next thing is we're going to now go for rendering. Now, of course, we have no control at this stage. It's deciding what it thinks is the best stitching. It's deciding what the best colour control is, side by side. So it's working all that out. Now, eventually, we'll get back to gain some control back. But at this stage, sit back and wait for the magic to happen. And once it does, you'll be able to see whether or not you need to do any more corrections. So here we go. As you can see, I've got a nice continuous line now, and there they all look at the bottom like they've all continually gone through as well. So I'm quite happy with that. I'm not so sure about the colour contrast, so I might want to change that. So let's go into the optimization, and I'm going to go for brightness and contrast. Now, this is only because I think the white isn't as white as it could be, and the black isn't as dark as it could be. And that's about it. I mean, more than that, I think I would have done it on a Photoshop or something like that. But for a quick tour, you've got to work on price, guys. If it's going to cost you a lot of time in workflow, you might have to put your price up to your client, and your client's not going to say, I'll go for that then. It's all about workflow, isn't it? So that white looks a bit better to me. Anyway, we're going to save it now. I've no hotspots to put in at this stage, so I'll just save this out as a simple panoramic image. So save as an image, click on that, and we're done. So it's going to be a new panorama, and we're sticking it back into the same folder, Pano Shop. So we'll have a nice image in there. Just click save, and that's it. We've got an image in there, ready to go. Okay. So now what we want to do is view this image, don't we? Rico Theta is my favourite little program for looking at images. Give it a quick thing. Found new panorama, and let's open it. See what we get. So here it is. Okay. And as you can see, it's got a lovely stitch. It's stitched quite well. In fact, it's stitched excellent, because looking at the uprights and look at the ceiling and all the cross lines, they're all 100% 90-degree angles. Fantastic. There's a bit of colour change on the light, but I'm not worried about that, because I'll probably restrict the field of view in the final tour. But here we go. The image that I showed you, this grey area, this circle, can you see the little pinch lines? Those are pinch lines of all the different panels put together. But without that coming together as a circle, you wouldn't have 180 by 360. And it would start to draw in the lines on the flooring. But if you look at the flooring, they're perfectly parallel. There's no distortion. And that's what you're trying to achieve. You're making sure that the flooring, or anything leading away from the flooring, at that point is in line. So without adding that little bit, you would have lost this, and you would have got a bit of a distortion round the tripod area, which is what we're trying to avoid. So here we go. To prove the point, here's a second image that I did purely using the automatic settings that the program found. And if you remember, it didn't do 180 at the bottom, it did 169.4. So this is the pinching I'm talking about, where it tries to make up a sphere. So it's going to gather in, because it's got less information. So you're going to pinch right at the bottom, a bit like a balloon when you tie a knot off. It's going to bring all those areas together and give you these distortions, which is what you're trying to avoid. And that's the real purpose of this video, is to show you that so you can patch easily, or so you can keep the floor remaining exactly how you want it. You need to drop down to the 180 on the program. If you look above, the ceiling is perfectly in line. There's 90 degrees there, no problem, because there was nothing to put in there, was it? In the program, it already recognised the ceiling. But at the bottom, where the camera's set up wrong, which is unfortunate, but sometimes you only find out on the day when you get back and look at your images and you think, oh no, that's no good. But a DSLR is a bit more of an awkward beast to use sometimes. If it shows you my setup, you'd laugh, because my lens is held in with an elastic band, and I think that's what happened. It moved slightly, but never mind. We overcome these problems later on. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. But if you look around at the image, I'm sure you'll agree it's well stitched, other than on the mistake. Oh, and that little correction I did with the white to give me a bit of brightness. Here you can see it does look a bit better than if I left it grey. It's only a slight little thing, but it's nice to know it's in the program. So there we go. Hope to see you again soon when I've not got such a bad cold. I'm sorry about the sound. Oh, and things like this, I'd probably have a touch up in a separate program, or I might just restrict down the field of view on the actual final tour. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and bye for now. See you in the next one. Oh, one more thing before you go. Why not leave us a comment on the content, whether you like it or not, or whether there are things that you'd like me to show you in this program, and I'll try to do what I can, and hopefully I won't have such a bad cold. So if you'd like to subscribe, that would be fantastic. I'll leave a comment either way, good or bad, I don't mind. And I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Okay, bye for now.